Hey there survivors, how's it going? I'm Virtual Paradise, or VP, and today I'm going to be showing you 8 hidden base locations that I found on the Vanaheim map on Fjordur. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, for this spot you'll want to come to around 22.6 by 99.9, basically on the edge of the map. And it looks like I'm about here on the map. Basically look for this waterfall. When you find this waterfall, you come in on the very top ledge, and then up here there's a little bush with a little hole just up it. You can't walk up this little bit, unfortunately, so you'll need to either fly or grapple or build your way up there, completely up to you. But then you can squeeze a few foundations in this bit here, and then there's also a like rat hole down the back. I'll just go in fly mode. But yes, there's a little rat hole that you can kind of build some triangle foundations and triangle ceilings on the way down if you wanted to try and make a couple of levels. But yes, you've got a good bit of room here for either a little starter base or a little backup base if you wanted to back up some loot and stuff. The big downside is obviously having this permanent foliage in. It's going to make it hard to actually see on this top layer, especially if you wanted anything up here. But going down here, if there was a way that you could squeeze like a hatch frame or something, you might be able to have 2 or 3 levels and actually have a proper little base. So that is the little waterfall rat hole spot. Now let's move over to the next location. So this next location is around 22.1 by 99.9, right at the edge of the map. And looks like I'm around here. And you're looking for this tree next to this big double waterfall. So the base that I showed earlier is in that waterfall, but then the base of this tree also has a couple of little hidey spots. You've got this spot just down here, which you can get to from either this ledge here, and it's pretty straight. There's only enough room for like 5 or 6 proper full-size square foundations, but no real extra room for expansion. But, oh, I'm going to have to crouch through there. If you go up and over to the other side of the tree, there's a little bit more room in a hole down here. So you've got a little bit of a ledge up here, more space down here, again very hidden away. Can't crouch through there or anything. But you've got a bit more room in this one to actually expand a little bit. If you do build a base down here, I'd probably come over to this side and cover up this hole, because there's not really much you can do with this hole. If there is, then great, but to me it just seems more like a hazard that you're just going to fall down and get stuck in. So you'll need a grappling hook or something. Right, so that was that spot. Now let's head over to the next base location. Alright, this next location is around 21.3 by 77.2, and that's around here on the map. And if I just give a little look at the surroundings, so where the base of this tree kind of comes down into this rock area, you kind of go down here. I'll just drop on foot, and then there's a little hole down here that you normally can't just walk out of. You would need to either grapple or fly a small flyer in there. As you can see, the hole isn't that big, so you might be able to squeeze one of the new bats in here, as they're the only flyers that can actually fly in this biome at the moment. But if I just go in here and show you the space anyway, you've basically got about this much room that I had to just quickly put a couple of triangle foundations down and snap some triangle ceilings across. So you've got enough room for a bed and smithy, forge, you know, a couple of boxes. So it's not bad for a little starter location especially. But then you need to make a ramp to get in and out if you're not going to rely on grappling hooks and flyers all the time. And then this side is the easiest part to jump up. The rest is kind of really slippery, you can't seem to get up even this part. So I would advise coming down here first, maybe with a few grappling hooks just in case you get stuck, and then you want to place your triangle foundation here first, and then you want to place a ramp. Ooh. If you can get snap, there we go. and then that should provide us a little crawl space, so you have to crouch to get down in there. So not a bad little starter location, and you can hardly see it. You can just about see it from this angle if you're like this exact angle. But generally you have to go right up to the hole to even see it. But that's that spot anyway. So let's head over to the next base location. Alright, for this next base location you're going to want to come to around 28.2 by 64.7, and that's around here on the map. And then you're going to be looking for this hole that goes into the side of this tree and cliff. I'll just give you a little look at the surroundings for when you're coming over here. So right above that bit down there, that's probably very recognisable. So then when you come into this hole down here, go straight up and right, and there's a little rat hole here. Now it does go up a bit, but there's not really that much you can do because of the fact that it cones quite a lot. But it's not bad for a little starter base or a little backup base for loot and stuff. You can build triangle foundations all the way up the walls. Oh, maybe not there so much. That's because it's overhanging that part. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could have some ladder systems and extra loot up on different levels up here. It's going to be quite hard to defend because the hole's so small to come through. You're not going to be able to plaster loads of turrets around here unless you actually wanted to kind of make this your main, I don't know, loot location, and actually have this tree as an actual base and then just plaster your turret walls everywhere else that you wanted. So that was that location. Let's head over to the next base location. So this next location's around 19.0 by 99.5 and around here on the map. And you're just basically looking for this big tree that kind of arches over there. Or big tree trunk, I should say. Well, big tree, because it forms into this tree. So yeah, you come to this hole in the tree down the bottom, and then you can see it expands more just below this rock. So then you've got quite a bit of building room. You've got room for a couple of small tames and a crafting area, etc. So not a bad little location. You'll probably want to get defended with turrets pretty quickly. Especially that it's on the ground level as well. It means that you're going to be susceptible to people actually just being able to walk in on foot. So not bad for a little starter location or a backup location or something like that. So that's that base location. Let's head over to the next base location. Alright, so this location is around 17.9 by 99.9, right on the edge of the map. And it's around here on the map. And you're basically just looking for this big hole in the cliff. And it's quite high up, as you can see. Just show the surroundings so you can kind of quickly recognise it. But you're basically looking for this big mushroom here when you get to this recognisable region. And then it's just in between these two mushrooms just to the left. And then you've got a nice big hole here. Ledge here. You've got a bigger ledge up here then, which would be ideal for a main base area. And then you've got some good defensive coverage as well, especially looking down. You can plaster all this with hatch frames and turrets, so lots of room to build here. No real restrictions. You can basically build up most of the walls. Yeah, you can build down here more than on the walls as well, so you can literally make your defences exactly how you want practically on your way down. So very nice base location, but will probably be quite highly contested. So that was that location. Let's move over to the next location. Alright, so this next location's around 0.0 by 90.9, about here on the map. And you're basically looking for this big sort of rock face that goes up. You want to look for, probably these waterfalls are probably easy to recognise. And then you just go to this big rock face, go up to this ledge where the tree kind of goes into the rocks, and then there's a hole that goes down here that you can put, like, you can't really put anything on the ground unfortunately, but there's plenty of snap locations for triangle foundations, and then you can extend the ceilings off it, and then you could probably pillar down actually if you want to just start off higher and then make an even bigger base foundation to start out of ceilings. And then it basically just goes up to a bit of a choke point, but not really, it's pretty open. But still, getting lots of turrets on a turret wall, it should be quite hard to raid, and being really high up as well, it is really out of the way. How near the sky border is it? Oh, it's really near the sky border. So there's this little ledge above it, but that's about it really. So you could even make sure that you plaster turrets all along this ledge as well, just to keep it well defended. So that is that location. Now let's head to the next base location. There's a lot of sky ledges on this map, so I thought I'd include my favourite one, and that is this one. And it's around 30.3 by around, well, 63.8, 64ish. But it's right up by the sky border, you can't really miss it as long as you go to the right spot. And there's this big sort of triangular ledge right below it as well. So just a little look at the surroundings for when you come here. You're kind of looking for this big tree that comes out of the rock face. And then just up here, so you've got quite a lot of room to build, no restrictions, you can build right to the back wall and up it if you wanted to. And there's a hole down here which is just a hazard to fall down, so probably block that off. Then you've got a good ledge as well where you can put your turrets and plant axes and whatever other defences you wanted to have there. And you could even place separate turret towers on some of these branches as well, just to make it even more awkward for people trying to find a spot to come and raid this place. I forgot to show it on the map, so here it is on the map. Alright, survivors, well that was 8 hidden base locations on the Vanaheim map on Fjordur. I hope you found one to suit your needs. Well, please drop a like and a sub to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Peace.